Money. Money. There are so many reasons that people farm, but no one does it for free, hopefully. Without a positive net return, it is game over. Organic farming has a well-earned reputation for making farmers good money. But, as anyone who works in ag knows, whether conventional or organic, prices will always rise and fall. Making the most of these inevitable price cycles depends on having a detailed understanding of a farm's cash flow, break-evens, and economic performance over time. Many farmers are drawn to organics with the promise of profitability. And I am excited to report that the long-term data shows organic is indeed more profitable. One recent study out of Purdue University looked at 5 years of farm financial data comparing common organic and conventional crop rotations. They found that an organic corn, soybean, and wheat rotation was $74 per acre more profitable than the same rotation under conventional management. And it's not just organic field crops, and it's not just in the US. A group of Washington state researchers analyzed the financial performance of organic and conventional agriculture from over 40 studies covering 55 crops grown on 5 continents and found that organic farming is somewhere between 22 and 35% more profitable for farmers than conventional. For field crops, prices are generally in the 1.5 to 3 times range depending on the crop and the season. Now, though these profitability numbers are notable, we need to do our due diligence and look at the financial challenges in organics. One challenge is consistency. Organic producers have more varied net returns per acre than their conventional counterparts. This means that the difference in profit between the lowest earning and the highest earning organic producers is wider than in the conventional farming side. To get a sense of what I mean, take a look at this graph from Purdue University's study. It shows that the per acre profit for corn with producers in the range of lowest earners on the left to highest earners on the right. The bottom line is conventional corn. The top 10% of conventional farms bring in about $460 per acre more profit than the bottom 10% of conventional farms. For organic corn, shown by that top line, the spread is a whopping $1,000 per acre. This wider spread between the top and bottom earning organic farmers comes down to management skills. Conventional farms are so dialed in at this point with expensive crop protection programs and fine-tuned genetics that the best managers are rewarded less and the worst managers are protected from disaster. In organics, there is a reward to be had for hard work. Excellent managers are able to realize substantial financial gains in organics, but less skilled farmers, or those who haven't invested the time to gain the skills, will struggle. Another challenge is that not every crop in an organic crop rotation performs the same financially. Purdue University compared organic and conventional enterprise budgets for several common crops. They found that organic corn and soybeans were significantly more profitable than conventional, but the opposite was true with alfalfa and winter wheat. This is exactly why we must calculate profitability in organics over the entire rotation. If an organic farm were to grow only the most individually profitable crops and nothing else, say, for example, you just grow corn and soybeans year after year, what would happen? Well, in the first couple of years, they would see excellent profits. But over time, weed pressures would build, soil organic matter would decrease, fertility would become increasingly expensive, and yield would suffer. By year 4 or 5, that farm's profitability would be significantly lower than a farm using a longer, more diverse crop rotation. In organic, we need to measure financial success over an entire multi-year rotation. Each crop and each production decision serves a purpose. Sometimes that purpose is to provide fertility. Sometimes it's to control weeds. And sometimes that purpose is to generate high returns that pay for the benefits of those other lower profitability crops. When you're designing an organic crop rotation, take a look at the financial performance of each of the crops. Does the revenue combined with the agronomic services of the crop justify its net return? In other words, is that crop pulling its weight both financially and agronomically? Crop enterprise budgets are a great tool for projecting future and tracking actual performances of each of the crops in the rotation. O'Grain, Iowa State University, Purdue Extension, and North Dakota State University have some really excellent organic enterprise budgeting tools. You can find these and others like it in the Dig Deeper section in the lesson materials. In addition to enterprise budgeting, cash flow analysis is important to determining the financial health of a farm. There are some key differences between cash flow on an organic and conventional farm. First, input costs. Organic farmers generally have greater control over the type and sources of their inputs than their conventional counterparts. Fertility is often grown directly on the farm, and there are fewer weed and pest control inputs available to organic farmers. However, some inputs, like certified organic seed, for some crops in some regions, can be just as, if not more expensive than conventional seed. There's also the chance that farmers can really go off the deep end when it comes to buying fertility. You can't purchase your way to sustainable fertility, but we all know that farmer who's gonna go broke trying. Needless to say, this isn't the path we recommend. 2, labor. Organic management is more labor intensive, full stop. Many organic farmers find they spend more time in the field than when they were conventional. And there are real, trackable costs associated with that increased time. 3, crop insurance. Crop insurance hasn't historically been very relevant or financially rewarding in organics, which can introduce a bit more risk while also providing more space for creativity and invention. As the organic market expands, we have seen some positive developments that make it a far better fit for organics. But it's still common for organic farmers to be somewhat self-insured, or to poetically describe their crop rotation as their insurance policy. Lots of great crop insurance resources are in the lesson notes, but one thing I'd like to note here is across the board and region by region, there are some really great crop insurance programs out there. They're very specific to the region, and you'll want to do your homework to make sure you understand how farming organically can align with current crop insurance products. In my neighborhood in Montana, aka the whole state, we drought out all the time, we have huge hail problems, and so a lot of folks could not farm organically without crop insurance. And indeed, the market has rewarded those who ultimately have done the homework, figured out the right policy, and bought crop insurance to protect their investments. Even with the potential for great financial reward, the early years of organic farming can be challenging, especially during the 36-month transition. The management learning curve is steep, and markets come and go. When things get challenging, it's important to remember why you or your client has transitioned to organic. As we mentioned in the very beginning of the entire course, having reasons for growing organically beyond a big payday will keep farmers from endangering their hard-earned place as certified organic producers by chasing short-term price fluctuations. The 10-year price history for field crops organic in the US shows that organic outperforms conventional over time. Conventional prices will fall. They always do. Organic prices will likely remain steady. I've worked with hundreds of farmers over the years, and I don't know anyone who regrets sticking with organics when they hit that snag. As the saying goes, and it's a bit of a cliche, you gotta do well before you can do good. If you're not profitable, all of your best intentions just don't mean much. While this is equally true of any farming operation, it's especially true of an organic farm, where the potential for higher profitability provides so many opportunities to pursue. Money! Money, money, money!